Well, top of the morning to you. We're going live into the game. Endpoint taking on 6G. This time, I think we're actually live. I'm not going to hype it up too much just in case. 6G starting on the Axis side. Endpoint on Allies. Looks like some opening smokes towards top mid will be deployed. And with a pretty passive defense in the A side early on, they're just looking for the spam down mid on the 6G side. They might be in a little bit of trouble. The leader making his way up A long, but luckily not all too quickly. And actually, no, they're going to be holding a very passive A-hold throughout the entirety of the round, it looks like. Qualifier playing passive top mid, peeking in towards A-long every now and then, eventually making his way towards the site as no contact is taken on A or B. And this is a pretty spread out round from the Allies team.
Yeah, indeed it is. Endpoint just taking their time into this opening round, although there is already 3 players grouped up over an A-long, and it looks like they're going to be looking to try and make a pretty quick burst onto the bomb site. Qualifier was the first point of contact, but he's actually backed off, so instead Helmsy is going to be the first one given an opportunity. Sadly, Garcia goes down immediately. Helmsy's going to drop pretty quickly to follow as the leader aggresses. And it is already a 5-on-2 now, instead of 3-on-2, as 2 quick kills were found back by Hustle and, well, just Hustle. It was also Sus who found one on the Rebirth. So 3v2, bomb, it is indeed planted. 35 seconds left on the clock. Qualifier in a very awkward position, and he's not going to be able to make himself live. Sadly, was sandwiched in between 2. Even all on the Hustle now as he has to pull off the ace clutch to make this round go in favor of 6Gaming. Perhaps he can get it done. Oh, no, Sus tapped the bomb, and he's actually going to go ahead and try and just stick this one now, and they're not going to be checking it. Oh my god, Hustle! He may just have time for the defuse. He makes it happen. 6Gaming, it's Hustle with a massive play. They find the opening round, 3 kills and a ninja defuse. As Endpoint, they let it slip away.
Endpoint not going to be feeling all too good after that. 2 men left alive, but they still lose the round. At least they did get the bomb plant down, securing themselves some decent economy, forcing up a little bit of granadas in the M1 carbine. Sus doesn't need to buy anything as he's picked up a Qualifier in the previous round. And let's see. Like, coming into this, 1 MP40, but aside from that on the Axis side, it's a pretty much even fight despite winning that opening round. That's a big difference between Battalion and the likes of CS. Winning that first round doesn't give you a massive advantage. It's kind of harder to win out the second round than you would see in the likes of CS, where the other team are going to be at best on, armor and pistols, maybe even ecoing. Especially if they did get the bomb down. Now, as Qualifier gets eliminated, that's a second kill for the leader into this round, bringing it to a 3 versus 4. Helmsy making his way over towards middle, but as he pushes through, he's going to find Fancy and J Money staring right at... Oh, maybe not. Turned away at just the wrong moment. And Helmsy able to pick up 1 before eventually being taken down by the leader, no less. The 3K in the round, and only 1 player left to find. That's Garcia. Sitting outside of the B barn. He's already spotted 1 player on the cross, but didn't expect Supreme to have already been pushed up so aggressively on the site. So he finds the kill and brings it to 1-1 on the scoreline. A more convincing round for them this time, but they're going to have to keep it up. This time the Axis will be able to get Qualifiers up yet again, and while the Allies will be on practically the same buy, the only real difference being Sus, who of course ecoed in the previous round, he's now able to get an M1 Garand.
Yeah, it was a nice round right there by Endpoint. See, the problem was for 6G that the bomb hadn't been planted, so Garcia just couldn't win the 1-on-3. JK, of course, but good work by Sus. Nice little control there in the M1 Garand. Found the aggression from both Rebirth and Hustle, and was successful in taking both of them down pretty quickly. Nice 2-man advantage already in favor of Endpoint. Helmsy, and he has that popcorn gun, as you call it, Mitch, in hand, but actually Qualifier and Garcia as well, able to make it work. Garcia takes down both the leader and Supreme on this B-bomb site. Somehow has actually managed to pull this round in favor of 6G. Fancy and J Money are who remain to try and save this one. But things are looking pretty good right now for the Axis side. Problem is, the player's actually creeped into the back lines. That's Fancy. And I don't think they're really aware of this one. He's going to be given a massive opportunity to try and take down a couple from behind. Let's see if they're going to be cautious of this at all. Steps are being made, so they should at least be aware that there is players coming in from behind now. Bomb going to be planted on that A-bomb site. Fancy able to find the first. The bomb actually won't be allowed to go down. Or rather, it will in the last millisecond. The frag was found either way, so good work by Helmsy as he finds himself a couple of kills to close that one out. 2-1. 6Gaming going to return it immediately themselves as they reclaim the lead.
This game certainly set up to be the closest of what we've seen today. 6G, a pretty strong team like we were discussing before this started. Their lineup has stood the test of time. They've been sticking together, and with the addition of Rebirth, who of course does play for Method normally, but he is going to be standing in today. And up against Endpoint, who, well, you know, like we were saying, individually, probably the better team. But they have not got the experience. Very recently formed within the last week, so... With Supreme picking up an opening kill on the B site, that should open things up a little bit for them. As they make their way over there, Helmsy's looking to get a little bit aggressive in the A barn. But it is going to be Rebirth to fall on the B site. That causes rotations to come over from A, and Fancy's hearing those now. He'll be coming in on the flank. 6G need to make a move fast before this flank can come in and find some kills. If there's even going to be any left for him to find, as the leader's picked up a 2K with the Tommy gun, it's only going to be Hustle. And he's going to have a very difficult Hustle here, being pushed on both sides. The leader about to spot him out. Now with his position known, J Money is going to be watching that angle as Fancy comes up on the flank, with Sus backing up Jay as well. That should be the end, and indeed it is. 2-2 as Endpoint claim a very convincing round, only losing the leader in a 1v5 at the end. And now the economy is starting to stack up as well for them. They'll be able to get a buy into this for the leader. Transfer him over a couple of tokens as he picks up a Tommy and full utility. 6G not in the same position though.
Yeah, back and forth so far, but of course this is going to favor the Allied side. Just traditionally a little bit more difficult to pick up the rounds over on the Allied side, of course. So 6G, they want to try and build up some momentum. They want to try and get themselves a decent lead while they're on the defense. And let's see if they're going to be able to do so. Right now, Endpoint just grouping up and going over towards the trenches with a couple of players. Sus actually does find Hustle immediately. Oh my god, both players run into the smoke. What can you do right there if you're Fancy? Helmsy only going to be able to find the one, sadly. It wasn't even him. He assisted Kiastar, who took down Fancy. And he will be dropped immediately afterwards by Sus, who was there to trade it out. So suddenly, only Garcia remains. There was a bit of a chance there for those two players as they pushed through the smoke, but sadly didn't expect any more after they found that initial frag. Garcia, his position is known. 4 frags to find, and no hope as he gets finished off by the leader. 3-2 as Endpoint go ahead and get themselves into the lead.
A solid lead to start off the map, of course, on the Allied side. Endpoint are going to be looking pretty good there, with their 1-round lead, 3-2. And with the economy of the Axis now called into question, they'll be able to get the full buy, 2 STGs, 2 Gevers, and an MP40. This is going to be the real test for the Allies, and we see 3 Tommy guns that might be indicative of a slightly faster play. Faster might not be better because Supreme's already fallen. They're going to be a man down coming into this, a first for the Endpoint side. To lose a player to nades without trades. Kaistar coming in on the flank as well. Oh, he doesn't take Sus out. Misses that last bullet as Sus rounds the corner. He just escapes the final bullet flying by. As he now goes for the repeak onto Kaistar. He could be in a little bit of trouble, but again, lit down to low HP before making it away. 6G though, look at their position. They've fallen back heavily off that A site. Sus, although he's causing that little bit of a distraction towards mid, J Money, the leader, and Fancy have made their way onto the site. Helmsy finding one on the cross. The leader doing some damage onto Kaistar, but again, damage not going to be a good trade for kills because, of course, damage is just regen here. But Fancy, he's going in for the trades. Rebirth and Helmsy dropped. Sus comes in with one onto Kaistar before Fancy falls, but it's a 2 versus 2. The nades not quite going to land onto Hustle as Garcia comes in for the rotation. They need to just play this slow, but with 26 seconds, 6G, a slow play will really favor them. Sus, last alive now as the leader falls. Garcia connects the final bullets with the MP40 to take him out as well. 3-3. And a fantastic performance there from the Axis side late round, despite being in that I think 5 versus 3. They lost a lot of players and things were looking pretty bad, but luckily the time was on their side and they finished off those last 2 players. 3-3. The economy looking pretty good for both teams, though. 3 M1 Garans. That's a pretty powerful combination for the Allies.
Indeed it is. Let's see who's going to be able to claim this round and get themselves into the lead. As we said, 6Gaming. Ideally, they want to pick up as many rounds as they can on this Axis side. And into this round, that's a pretty solid start. Helmsy was able to find that opening kill. Rebirth followed up immediately on towards Sus. Supreme only allowed to find 1 kill as he loses J money in the process. So 4-on-2. Very aggressive and very fast-paced round so far from the Axis side. They wanted to push forward and force the fight, and it actually does seem to have worked out in their favor. Lear and Supreme all that remain right now. They do have just under a minute to try and work with, and as we can see, their approach is going to be onto this B bomb site. Garcia being the sole defender currently crouched in towards the back of the site. Going to be waiting to see once he finds contact to allow him to just pop up and try and get the work done, and he should indeed be able to hear the footsteps now, so he'll call that over to his teammates. The rotate's going to come in. He's going to have the assistance. He pops up, finds the first, and finds the second kill as he doubles down. Tokens to be retrieved, and 6Gaming 6G able to get themselves into the lead. 1 round now as they take a 4-3 advantage. And of course, as we can see, the economy for Endpoint is not great. They may want to consider going for an eco here. So far, a couple of carbines to be purchased up. And actually, they do invest onto basically everyone except for Supreme, who actually is going to go ahead and buy up as well. So mostly just carbines. That 1 grease gun into the hands of Fancy to allow him to get a smoke and a grenade as well.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard strategy we've seen come out a couple of times. It's worth forcing up just into those carbines. They've actually gone for a little bit of utility to back it up as well, but it just means that you have got to go... Oh no, Rebirth, he forgot which team he's playing for. That's the problem with standing in. He sees 6G and takes him out. Now, as the leader finds one as well, although it is traded, it's going to be a 4 versus 3, and now the carbine buy is looking pretty strong. Fancy already up towards the A side. Rebirth trying to make up for his misplay earlier on as Kaistar finds a kill. Rebirth looking strong, coming in on the flank around through A barn. They're not expecting it this early, so he finds 1 opening kill, but not good for a second. The leader and Fancy stacked up together over towards the hay bales. As they find 1 kill there on the Kaistar, Rebirth needs to be careful not to peek out just yet. Hustle coming in for the rotation, but they're going to try and isolate Rebirth right now. They know that he's stuck in there on the right-hand side. As they pick up the bomb, playing with the idea of just going for that kill, and here they go. They push in, finding the kill on the Rebirth. It's now only Hustle. He's made his way all the way around, but now spotted out. Oh, he does manage the kill onto the leader. That's unfortunate. Fancy was regenning as he goes for the bomb plant. Hustle has no chance really to stop that. He has to let it come through. Already used his nade up earlier on to attempt to grab the kill onto the planter. Now as Fancy sits on the site, patiently waiting for the push, regenning his health. Both players actually regenning. But he goes for the peek. It's expected. And Hustle reacts in time, takes him down, and will get the defuse, as well as picking up a couple of tokens. And indeed an MP40 probably over towards the barn. There's a grenade and an MP40 sitting there, but no, he's actually going to make his way. Don't think he'll quite make that. No, he managed the nade anyways, and the tokens, so that's not too bad. A pretty decent round coming in from the Allies to manage, you know, with so little economical investment into that round. They managed to bring it down to a 1v1, get the bomb down. A shame they didn't win out the round, especially with the team kill from Rebirth. That made it a lot closer than it should have been. But nonetheless, that is 5-3. The Allies now get a full buy. We can see Supreme has got the sniper in hand. Fancy with a grenade. And the leader to open up the round with the bar. Not a weapon we see used all too often.
Yeah, we've seen it in the first game as well. So it's nice to see that there's a bit of a more variety now. Fancy up close on the other side of the smoke. He needs to be cautious as that begins to dissipate. Kia Star may be given a bit of an opportunity. And their smoke is just going to be drawn down now as he decides to back off. 5-on-4 in favor of Endpoint, so they can slow this one down now.
Yeah, with Helmsy already fallen, it looks like Endpoint are going to look to take A long. Kaistar, he's wise to it. He's going to be going for the peak with the Gewehr, finding an opening kill on the Fancy. That trade going to be pretty pivotal for the Axis, but it is still a 4v4. That's going to favor the Allies. Not anymore. As the leader falls, Rebirth going to lose some HP, but that only alerts Kaistar that the push is coming out. He doesn't manage any more kills, though, so it's a 3v3. Rebirth not able to challenge just yet. He's regenerating his health, goes for the challenge, and it works out for him as the nade comes in from Hustle. The bomb still goes down, but it's only Supreme with a sniper to defend here. He's being pushed down from all angles, and as Hustle comes in on his right, he's focused on his left. 6-3. 6G doing a really good job on the Axis side so far, but they need to pick up more rounds because Endpoint are on the Allied side, disadvantaged, and now with the loss bonus building up, they'll be able to challenge for pretty much every round.
Yeah, 6G looking good right now. They've begun to build up some momentum for themselves. Endpoint are going to be able to get another buy into this one. Mostly Thompsons, 4 of them, and one M1 Garan. So I'd expect this round to be pretty quick. They'll probably try and go for a bit of a rush towards one of the sites. Question is, which one are they going to focus on? Right now, at least grouping up mostly over towards middle. Might try and charge up towards that barn and make their way onto A, but Garcia, nice find as he opens it up on towards Supreme with a grenade, and actually they're going to try and make their way over towards B instead. See, already Endpoint, they have or rather 6G have a bit of an inkling about this one. They've set themselves up very strongly. Hustle able to find himself 3 quick kills as they jump into the barn. Only one frag being found in that round for Endpoint, and that was on towards Rebirth. Everyone else able to just shut that down immediately.
Hustle's doing a really good job right now. He's 14 for 4 up against Endpoint. It's not like these are, eco frags or anything. Like, he is collecting heads right now. And winning out the clutch situations too. 7-3. Endpoint need to pick things up here. I don't want to see them sitting around 5 rounds when it ends, but when the half ends. The nade's not really connecting. Oh, look at that nade coming in from the Axis as well. Supreme loses so much health. J Money's already fallen to Rebirth as well. Of course, the damage not going to matter as they do, of course, regen. And Sus finds one on the Helmsy. That's going to be the trade. Kaistar's making his way slowly down long. Garcia also aggressing on B. Finds an opening kill. Kaistar on the flank behind the Allies. All they have to do is keep them boxed in here and slow the progress. But Garcia's taking it one step further. He's already found a kill. And then a second, with Rebirth finding one. It's only Fancy left alive, being pushed in the back. Kaistar finds that kill eventually. The long flank pays off. And so 8-3 is the scoreline that we sit at. As this half is looking really strong for 6G. We said it was probably going to be a close game. And that 6G, had a good chance coming into this. But we both favored the Allies of Endpoint. Right now, I'm starting to change my mind. 6G looking really strong.
Still early days. I wouldn't count them out quite yet. They are, of course, on the Allied side as well, where it is traditionally a bit more difficult to pick up rounds, and especially so when Rebirth is just spamming down mid, and before he even sees anyone, he does claim a quick headshot. Wall bang on the SDG with a very beautiful skin. I like that one. Oh, and the nade as well from Hustle. So yeah, just nothing working out right now for Endpoint. 6G, even with a stand-in, they're looking extremely strong. As you said, this is, of course, a new roster of Endpoint. They made a few changes. They brought J Money back in. He wasn't able to play at the Gallantry LAN, of course. And the leader and also Supreme were added to the lineup. So from what we've seen in Gallantry, it's only Fancy and Sus that actually remain from that roster.
Yeah, I do like the re-addition of J Money there, but I mean, coming up against this 6G side, Rebirth is consistently finding those opening kills. Hustle is doing really, really well in the clutch situations, and indeed just finding consistent frags himself. And it's the thing throughout the majority of the team. Helmsy has been the player to fall, I think, most of the time. It's had the least impact anyways for 6G. But generally, I mean, the rest of the team's able to pick up that slack. That's why we see them at such a heavy lead. I think we're going into a pause now. Indeed, it is going to be a pause, presumably tactical from Endpoint. And the leader is the one to be top fragging the game. 12 for 10 right now.
Well, Hustle's top fragging the game. He's 15-5.
Well, top fragging for Endpoint, I meant, yeah. Hustle, of course, doing really well there. 15 for 5 is like such a strong way to start this off against Endpoint that we saw throughout the rest of the day performing really, really strongly. They're just being shut down. Oh, what a nade onto Garcia, but it doesn't quite land on the B side. I don't know if you spotted that on stream, but a thin sheet of metal saved his life. Supreme is the one to open it up, of course, taking Hustle down. Again, he is going to be the first to fall, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. Taking out that heavy fragger at the start of the round. Gonna look pretty good with Garcia falling, and then Kaistar not too far behind. He's very low HP right now. As they make their way towards the B side, or rather, they make their way towards planting on the B side. It's only going to be Kaistar, Rebirth, and Helmsy left alive to clutch this set. Helmsy has got the scope card in hand after picking that, or after buying that, rather. We see the 3 versus 4. It's going to be a difficult retake. But no nades left in the possession of the Axis either. Battles are coming in slowly but surely. We see the allies coming ahead. Rebirth getting shot through the smoke. He walks right by Fancy and gets taken down. That leaves Helmsy alone with the sniper. Pushes out, looks the wrong way. That's why you look both ways when you cross the road. 9-4, Endpoint finally pick up another round, but I'd suggest they need at least one more out of these next 2 to put themselves in a decent position.
Yeah, if they bring it back up to 6, they'll be pretty happy with the recovery that they're able to find. As we said early on, this was very back and forth. I believe at one point it was 3-3, and then 6G just began to really run away with the lead. So let's see if Endpoint can bring this back up a little bit. 5, as you said, would put them in an okay position. 6 is ideal. I know they're a very capable team, but so far 6G looking really strong, and it's not even Rebirth. You said he's a very strong player. He's standing in. He's kind of just doing his work. He's not doing anything too special. It's Hustle that's been stepping it up, and Keystar and Garcia as well having some really nice rounds. Seems like once again it's going to be a pretty split up play coming in from the Endpoint side. Although the leader is going to be able to catch that aggression from Helmsy, takes him down as he was pushing on long, finds a second player to fight against, and actually just kind of baits him out into the open, which gives Supreme a nice opportunity to go ahead and strike with that scoped Car 98. So 5-on-3. And this is looking like it could indeed be a 5th round to be picked up for Endpoint. More and more likely as the round continues on.
Yeah, Garcia and Hustle, although they are the 2 top fraggers, at least top of the leaderboard, it's going to be a difficult position for them to win out, especially now it's a 1v4. Hustle did find the kill under J Money, but as Sus trades it back by taking Garcia out, he's going for the battle onto the second player. Hustle falling. Even if he did win out that fight onto Sus, he was being flanked out as well. It wouldn't be all too likely. Now with 5 rounds on the board, I think Endpoint are going to be happy with how this half has progressed, especially with the fact that they were falling behind so many consecutive rounds, won out by the Axis. They're going to be looking for that 6th round, which they might even pick up. I mean, look at the buy of the Axis right now. 6G have only got Gewehr's and 1 MP40. Not a whole lot of utility either. Only 3 grenades, while everybody on the Allied side is fully stacked up. Early nades to come in. Sniper card onto Supreme. He's again going to be using that, taking it towards A long to try to find a battle onto Kaistar. As the rest of the team takes some mid control. Helmsy looking to peek out from A barn onto J Money, but it's Supreme to open things up on the Kaistar. That might usually prompt teams to take their road towards A, but this time they're going to be lurking towards that B site where Garcia's already gotten a little bit aggressive, and that could cost him because Fancy is making his way around behind the fountain, which isn't currently being watched by the Axis side. As the kill comes in for the leader, that's just opening up B, causing Hustle to rotate over. That leaves mid completely open, or second mid at least. They have to make a decision. Do they want to leave B or leave mid? And as B is smoked off, I'd suggest they want to just keep an eye on mid. They decide not to do that, so J Money makes his way up. Now Rebirth's got to be cautious of that angle. As he watches it, it's not going to matter. He gets taken down. Hustle also falling on B, trying to aggress up towards that smoke, not working out for him. So it's all onto Helmsy. And there it goes. Supreme finishing off the half with a sniper to bring it 9-6 in favor of 6G as they move over to their allied side. This is going to be a close one, but I think Endpoint might just about have it, as we've seen them be really strong on the Axis side so far.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what 6G are going to be able to get done now on the Allied side, where with that stand-in, it is going to be a little bit more difficult for them. Endpoint, of course, now. They'll be on the defensive side, where they are going to probably find it a little bit easier to pick up those rounds. And let's see if he's going to be able to go ahead and get it, if they're going to be able to go ahead and get it done, rather. So far, a slow round going to be coming in from 6G, just hanging back, slowly creeping over towards that B-bomb site with a couple of players. The leader, the first man to find contact as he spots them crossing over. He gets a bit of info to work with. It doesn't really seem like we're going to see any rotates coming in. There's two players just sticking over towards that B barn. Sus over on A barn. J Money, he's the one that's on that B-bomb site itself, ready to try and lock it down. Right now, Garcia is just kind of probing this B-bomb site, but he's not actually looking to try and push forward. There is still just under a minute remaining. It's Kiastar actually that tries to take the fight. He's pushed up to the barn, spots out Fancy. Sadly, he will be taken down, and the leader, of course, was also waiting up close to make sure trades could be found if needed. So a 5-on-4 is indeed going to go in favor of Endpoint early on into this round. But actually not that early on, of course. There is still 40 seconds remaining, but that was finally the first blood to be claimed. As we do see, of course, 6G need to make a decision soon about where they want to try and bring this, and B, it does seem to be their goal.
Yeah, the B side definitely going to be the goal of 6G right now as they make their way towards it. They're at a one-man disadvantage. J Money sitting over towards Radio. He's being pushed down by 3, able to find 1 kill with the assistance of Fancy, but both of them will fall as the leader comes in to try and help out. Rebird's getting aggressive. Oh, and he doesn't land that kill. Look at the leader's HP. It's a 3 versus 2 retake now. That play could have decided the fate of this round. Garcia, though, he's doing pretty well to find 1 with the assistance of Hustle, or rather Hustle with the assistance of Garcia. But Hustle's got to find another 2 kills if he wants to win this out. Making his way over towards the door. The leader sitting, over towards the tree is not going to be caught out as he finds the kill. That will be 9-7. Endpoint yet again. Find a round and get that much closer to equalizing against 6G, who have got the advantage in rounds, but on the Allied side here on Manorhouse, they want to keep that advantage in rounds for as long as they can.
Oh, look, it's in the chat. It's Mark Homer.
Shout out to Homer for giving away his jersey at the LAN, and a fantastic interview in a wife beater while holding a bottle of beer.
And calling
Classic.
everyone shit.
Exactly. I believe he said dog shit.
I think that was the specifics. Yeah, I think it was just a shame that everyone is so bad. Is another thing he said. It was
a lot of things were said.
Different.
Yeah, for sure. It was not what you usually get to see. It was a treat. But with 2 rounds left now, the pause just coming undone. Endpoint, 2 rounds left in it, I should say. Endpoint catching up pretty quickly onto the Allied side of 6G, who are forced onto an M1 carbine buy. They fully buy down, though. Picking up 1 nade on Hustle and a smoke on himself and Kaistar. And this is what I was saying before about, like, when you win out that first round, it's not necessarily easy to win the second one, because we see already the economy pretty similar for both teams. Just 2 MP40 is the only thing that's going to define the difference.
Good work by the leader. Got a nice little shot in the Helmsy. 4-on-4. As J Money takes the battle up against Hustle, dropping him low HP, follows up a nade. Not going to be able to find anything with it, sadly. A little bit overthrown. As we've seen, Hustle was able to just stay in cover. So 50 seconds now. 6G need to get a move on soon towards one of the bomb sites. As we can see, it is A that they're going to aim to try and claim control of. And may actually be successful in doing so. Rebirth was able to find that kill onto Fancy. It was Garcia that jumped around the corner and took down Sus. The nade will come in, but the bomb is at least planted beforehand. So now it's a 2v2. Hustle and Rebirth to try and win it out. Stand-in being one of those players. Will they be able to work together efficiently enough to take the victory in this round? As it's not looking too likely. Rebirth now all alone. 1v2. Dropped to low HP already. Smoke going to be thrown down to try and cut off his vision and allow for the bomb to be defused. And they are just going to go ahead and tap it. Try and bait Rebirth out into the open. He's playing around the smoke. Eventually going to jump out into the open indeed. But he only finds 1 kill before he falls. And the leader is indeed going to be able to clutch it out. 3 kills in total in that round for him. And the defuse also going to be found. Some nice tokens scattered around from to pick up. Lots of tokens. Oh, did you not notice the other one in towards the hay bale? I don't think so.
Well, I assume he didn't notice it. Instead of he opted not to take it. Well, I'd hope so anyways.
I have enough. We'll give them a chance. Like
Exactly, yeah. You want to keep the economy competitive, you know? We've had enough one-sided games today. Well, 9-8. That second round being won out by Endpoint now puts them in a good position. They're able to get the full buy. They fully invest into this round, of course, losing so many players they have to. Sus finds an opening kill, but the nade does return it. Actually, Kaistar from the grave. When the nades come in, as Fancy finds one under Rebirth. Very spread out, the remaining players on the allied side, as Hustle actually falls to J Money. I didn't even notice that kill come in. It's going to be Garcia and Helmsy pushing very different sides of the map. Helmsy trying to get aggressive in mid, while Garcia is making his way slowly but surely up A long. Helmsy finds one on the Sus. That gives away his position, so Supreme's going to be looking for the kill with a sniper. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to connect it, unfortunately, because Helmsy has already made his way into the barn. The only problem, really, is that the bomb was all the way up on A long, so that's going to slow the round down a bit as Garcia goes back to get it, leaving Supreme to relocate and actually spot out Helmsy. Almost found a shot onto him. And as Garcia makes his way onto the side to get that bomb down, the rotations will come in. J Money a little bit too late over towards the B barn to find that kill. Oh, here comes the nade in as Supreme finds one kill. Garcia not quite going to be caught out by that nade, but now they know which side of the bomb side he's on. J Money not able to connect the shot, though. That could be costly in a 1v2 if Garcia can get the bomb plant down. But look at this flank from Fancy Dean. That should surely end Garcia's life.
Indeed it should. Fancy takes the shots, actually doesn't find the kill immediately. Well, as Garcia only has a pistol now to fall back to after expending all the bullets that were remaining in that clip of the M1 Garand. So he'll be taken down. Supreme with the final frag as we see the scoreline being equalized at 9-9. Of course, 6Gaming. They actually have an okay economy. They're averaging just around 3 tokens. Rebirth with 4. There was 2 for Keystar. And they are gonna go ahead and just buy up what they can. Helmsy actually able to get the sniper out, so it's not terrible by any means. They have 2 smokes as well, no grenades, sadly, and 4 carbines to back up that scoped rifle in the hands of Helmsy. Let's see if they're going to be able to make it work now, or will Endpoint go ahead and claim the lead? At this point, Endpoint, I would say they are looking favoured. They're on the side of the map, of course, where it's easier to pick those rounds up. J Money getting a lot of info when he spots out 3 players crossing over towards B, also aggressing around the smoke. Be cautious of Garcia, and he's not cautious enough. Will be tagged down. Luckily enough for his own sake, the frag won't be found. That's actually the leader to go ahead and start this round off as he finds a kill onto Helmsy elsewhere.
The aggression from 6G towards B pays off as Rebirth finds one, but the trades come in again and again. 2 for 2, leaving Hustle in a 1 versus 3. He's trying to find something, but the leader on the side is going to cause some problems for him. He's only got an M1 carbine, and the leader, of course, has that impenetrable cover of the bomb site. Oh, but Hustle's picked up a sniper now. That increases his chances a little bit if he can hit those opening shots. The leader, though, just peeking, making sure that he's still there. That allows the flank to start coming in from Sus. With 20 seconds left. The bomb not anywhere near Hustle. It should be impossible for him to win this round out. The best chance now is for him to save that sniper over, but now that he's been heard, he already shot off once. It's unlikely that they're going to allow him to save that weapon.
Yeah, this round's over and done with, and sadly, as you said, unlikely he was going to be able to save that sniper. He gets taken down. It's handed over to Supreme, who we've seen utilizing that one in the first half as well. So 2 scoped rifles going to be in play now for the Endpoint side. The leader with his one, Supreme also with one in his own possession. As we can see, Endpoint are able to go ahead and claim themselves the lead, 10-9. A half buy going to be coming out into this round for 6G, mostly just the carbines. Russell gets himself a Thompson. And I'd expect this round to be a little bit quicker, perhaps. They might try and take up the pace a small amount, and that does indeed seem to be the case. 3 players already grouping up over towards A long. Supreme, as I said, he has that scoped rifle in his possession, and he's going to be holding for this. Oh, the nade. Didn't quite get the kill, but it's successful in forcing them back off the angle at least. Yeah, just give them a lot of room to work with. They've got a lot of control now over towards the A side. Of course, don't have the bomb site quite yet, but they've pushed forward. They're in positions where they can go for this attack eventually. And of course, as we can see, there is also one player in towards the middle. Can I just go ahead and say that Mitch is a dope?
I was wondering why you were interrupting me. Of course, my mic was muted. I was talking away. Yeah, well, Endpoint right now, they're wasting down that clock. 40 seconds. They're putting 6G in a position where they have to make a move pretty fast. And it's going to be towards the A site. Sus haven't backed off in mid and Supreme playing passive. It's not going to look good. Helmsy, though, pushes through. That's going to be an easy kill for Supreme to find. Sus also finds one with the MP40. As the bomb goes down, a 3-man disadvantage is in play for the 6G side. They're not going to be feeling all too great about that. And they're going to feel even worse as the kills come in. Fancy finds one. It's a 1-for-1 trade over towards the hay bale. He somehow connects that as well. The hip fire from the MP40. And the defuse will come in, and that will be 11-9. 6G still to get around on the Allied side, and they were off to a great start on the Axis. They were looking really strong. But now we've seen the Axis side, Endpoint, are just shutting down rounds. Them managing to bring it up to 9-6 was exactly what they needed in the previous half. And now they're 2 rounds in the lead. 6G need to do something, and in this round, they can get a full buy if they so wished, but it looks like they're actually going to be calling a pause, at least, with just grease guns in play. I imagine at the very minimum they'll be taking M1 carbines on each player. They've got the loss bonus built up now that they can afford to just buy into this. And you know, it was a point made by Fi that and indeed a lot of teams do follow that philosophy, that it's much better to force into every round with the M1 carbines. Just everybody invests 1 token. You have a decent chance of winning 2-3 rounds, and even if you lose those, the loss bonus builds up such that on the 4th round you'll be able to get a buy. But the carbine and the Gewehr, they're just too strong right now to be considered an eco weapon. It's not like buying a 5.7 in CS, and it's good at range. It's good close range. Hip fire is accurate, and indeed the spam ability makes up for the slight inaccuracy of it. And the ADS is perfect. So there's no reason not to use it right now at the cost that it's at with the current win-loss bonus. But that's why I was quite baffled. I think in the previous game, was it Vivictus? We saw going for in the first round where they went for grease guns with 1 carbine, despite being on like a 2-loss bonus.
I believe so, yeah.
They would have had money to buy in the next either way. It's a pretty perplexing situation to see unfold, but it does look like it's going to be a force. On the Allied side, I guess that's a plausible enough way to go for it. They've got a lot of utility. Smokes on every player, 2 grenades in play. The Tommy guns, so they can take those close range, fast fights. The M1 carbines, as we said before, pretty decent weapons. And the M1 Garand, that's a weapon we see used, when used right, such a strong weapon. We saw Fi taking it a lot of the time instead of the likes of a scoped weapon. He was able to connect so many kills with it over at Budapest. But J Money is the one to open up the round now. He's going to be using the Car 98K to find himself a nice kill on the Rebirth. But the majority of the team and the allies are going to be making their way towards, oh no, towards A. Supreme, how does he find that kill? He's not being checked even though they know he's there. He gets a second one. They're still not checking him. Now it's a 2 versus 3. They have control of the site, but they need to go for the plant. And with nades still in play on the leader and J Money, that plant's not going to be easy to secure.
Indeed it is not. Fancy able to find themselves 1 kill as well. Helmsy now the last man standing, 1 on 3. And as you said, that bomb, not even going to be easy for him to get down. Surrounded right now as well. Trying to push forward to force the fight, hoping to try and find a couple of kills before he tries to actually get that planted. But it is going to be difficult. J Money above. He has now been spotted. Position makes things very difficult. He's on the low ground. Fancy's saying it's over. I have the high ground. Indeed it is.
Wow. That was a weak reference.
it was. But this is a weak performance on the Allied side from 6G, so that's all they deserve.
All right. Well, while Dean's pulling out the toxicity, we're gonna see the sniper being pulled out by the leader. The scope. He picked it up in the previous round. Let's see what he can pick up now. Moving into this round, the nade's coming over. Fancy dropping a pretty good nade over towards outside of B. Not connecting any kills with it just yet, as Rebirth's already found his way over towards that B site, where he's already been spotted out now. Fancy and Sus finding those opening kills, but they have lost control of the bomb site, where the plant should be able to come in. That is pending they can get the bomb across there. J Money doesn't connect the shot, sadly, but he is going to make his way over towards cutting the bomb planter off at the house. As Rebirth finds one kill onto Fancy. The spam's coming through from Sus, not able to connect all too much. Garcia goes for that bomb plant. The nades come in. And it doesn't even matter about the nades because Sus is there to find the wall bang. Rebirth and Hustle have to cross that line of sight. When they do so, they're going to face a pretty hefty challenge. Rebirth going out through the door. It's not going to matter. Sus is shutting him down. And the leader comes in with one onto Hustle. And Endpoint again looking dominant despite losing control of the site there. They still find 2 kills. They give up map control in order to gain the man control. 13-9. 3 rounds left to go. 6G still yet to get a round on the board on the Allied side. Things are not looking good for them.
And Endpoint still had nades as well if they needed them, so
Yeah.
it was just so difficult right there for 6G, as you said. Sure, they got the bomb site, but they had a 3-on-5 to try and pull it back from. Never going to be easy. Let's see, can 6G finally get themselves onto the board on the Allied side? Reminder, at halftime they did lead 9-6. Now it's 13-9, 7 in a row for Endpoint since swapping over to the defense. And right now, the plan for 6G just to group up over on A long, trying to go for a bit of a faster play again. We've seen, of course, previously when they went towards this position, Supreme was playing up close and he just shut it down single-handedly. And it seemed like there was definitely an issue with the communication for 6G at that point. Good work by Deleter already finding the first. Sus going to be able to chime in also. Rebirth falls. As it's a 5v2. Hustle and Helmsy all that remain.
Yeah, Helmsy and Hustle stuck towards A long. Pretty boxed in right now, not able to get up to all too much. Hustle was doing really well in the first half, but everybody on the 6G side has been suffering in half number 2 as Endpoint are swinging in kills. The leader's still going to be top fragging, and now, this time, he is top fragging the server with 26 kills as Fancy finds 1. It's going to be Sus to push out and probably find this kill on the Hustle. Is really low HP. The nade forces him out in the open and actually finishes him off as well. Bringing it 14-9. Endpoint. I mean, I thought they were doing pretty well when the Allied side ended, that they'd be relatively happy with how that went. Evidently, they're delighted. 5 rounds ahead already, just 2 away from securing the map number 1. And I believe, unless Rebirth was spinning lies, it should be Savoia up next, and then Coastal is the 3rd map. It'd be really interesting to actually see teams playing on Savoia.
And then Coastal.
Oh, Rebirth's lying to me.
Yeah, he said that afterwards, that he was joking.
Ah, I tabbed out at that point. God damn it, Rebirth. Oh
Your fault.
no.
All I can say.
Well, this isn't looking good for 6G. Well, they do find that 1 kill over towards the A site. Supreme had gone aggressive all the way up A long, but now he's forced to kind of fall back a little bit. Make sure the bomb plant doesn't come down. If they do go aggressive on Endpoint and try to rotate around, Garcia's in a position to catch them off. J Money, though, still going to be playing passive with the Car 98K over on that B site. So Garcia does come in for the rotation. The leader finds the opening kill. Onto Helmsy, that widens their lead even more so. And as Garcia grabs the bomb, he's got a difficult situation ahead. 1 versus 3. 33 seconds. Picked up a Tommy gun, but he's about to run into the leader who's got the sniper. Closing in the distance. This could be good. The leader misses the shot. The Tommy is deployed, but the second shot is hit. That's 15-9 is the scoreline. 1 round away from victory. Endpoint are looking solid.
yeah, one round away from at least getting themselves the first map here in this best of 3. And that'll put them in a pretty good position. For 6Gaming, they still have a pretty solid buy coming into this round. They have the scope onto Helmsy. They have 3 carbines, make that 4 carbines, and as you said, these weapons, even though they're only a token each, they are very capable, especially if you have that aim on point, finding those quick headshots. Well, let's see if 6G are going to be able to step it up now. 6 rounds in a row. Can they live up to their name and do so? I would say no.
Yeah, I'd have
That's
to
just because it
agree.
rhymed, so I wanted to throw that in there. But no, I'd also say no, because right now, Endpoint, they're just looking pretty good. They've picked themselves up at this point 9 rounds in a row since swapping over to the Axis side. Good opening to be found into this round for Helmsy, but sadly it was just like an aggressive to go ahead and take down the stand-in. Almost follows it up at a second, but nice work by Garcia to finish him off. For eventually Keystar aggressing onto that B-bomb site alone. Will drop.
Ooh, Fancy's fallen though. This could be interesting. It's all into the leader on the site, but he finds the kill. And now the bomb carrier, Helmsy, last alive, tries the quick scope, doesn't land it. He's being pushed down now by 2 players. They're going to be sitting in the barn waiting for the push. Supreme and the leader watching the same angle. If Helmsy walks through those doors, it is going to be a death sentence. And he seems to be approaching them. He doesn't know how close he is to death as the leader takes him down very low. He does return the favor. Supreme is there to trade it back as well. Oh, trying to sneak around behind. He might actually catch Supreme off. The time is really ticking away though. And no, the leader catches him off and brings us to a scoreline of 16-9. 6G not able to find a single round on the Allied side. Endpoint shutting them down at every turn. The leader dropping a total of 30 kills in that Manorhouse.